What is going on, guys? Mangumson here, bring you another First Descendant video, and today we're going to be talking about multi-hit. So how does multi-hit work? Is it good? Is it bad? They fix some numbers, or the way that it damages, damage calculation ends up reflecting on the weapon itself. So when we go into a weapon and we look at the overall build, you need to try to figure out, is multi-hit going to be good for your weapon, right? So how does multi-hit work? When you use multi-hit, right, I really should have got this Vulgus loaded up before I did all this, but anyway, load up the Vulgus and then you'll see that number. You see the little double bullets located on the side when you shoot. That is how you know multi-hit damage is being applied. It is a chance for it to activate on the weapon when you shoot the round. Now also, with all these damage numbers, you're going to see toxic. The toxic itself has a multi-hit chance. The bullet itself has a multi-hit chance. Everything goes with the weapon multi-hit chance. Multi-hit chance means that the bullet itself hits twice. It doesn't increase your rounds, it doesn't increase your fire rate. It's very, very misleading when you start to try to equip multi-hit. Now, if I was to go into the Fallen Hope, the Fallen Hope got a 100% multi-hit damage. I want to say that's what that means. 1 times. So base that, it is 100% very good to go into multi-hit with Fallen Hope. What does the damage look like versus how we used to use Fallen Hope? We used to use Fallen Hope with crit mods, and when you go to try to put multi-hit on here and try to take it off and replace it, it makes the numbers go down. Very misleading. You go over here, you lose 158,000 worth of damage. You see it's calculating it, but it's not calculating it right. Because when I just take off the better insight, better concentration, and just leave on better concentration, that's what we want, and we get rid of the crit rate on the other side. Let's go back to it. When we go to it, it says it's losing a whole bunch of damage. But as you can see over here, with multi-hit trigger and multi-hit piercing, I gain more damage. But if I want to try to put back on better insight, it says I lose damage now. So don't let the numbers confuse you when you go to try to put multi-hit on. Put the build together, look at the damage numbers afterwards. So I use this one. We're gonna go do our damage test. My recoil is all over the place. See, 1 mil 666. Then we use multi-hit. Let's get that back. Then you're gonna see my damage numbers go up from 1 mil 666 to 3 mil because the bullet is hitting twice. It's doing double the damage for this particular weapon because this multi-hit chance is at 100%. Now you can go through and look at all the other weapons and their multi-hit chance. I'm going to go ahead and cut the middleman out there. The best multi-hit weapons are Ancient Knight. You're going to look at this one. Its multi-hit chance is a 0.54, so 50% chance. I want to say that's what that means. Correct me in the comment section below. The actual ability of the Descending Judgment has multi-hit damage increase and multi-hit damage per increase stacks. So you're getting more multi-hit damage by the weapon's nature, like what it does. And these numbers only go up once you increase the actual gun, once you increase the Ancient Knight. Now the other weapon that is actually good at multi-hit, surprising enough, because it's got to get good some way, is actually the Divine Punishment. So assault rifles were a little bit tweaked to get multi-hit damage to make them a little bit better. The Divine Punishment has always been one of my favorite weapons. If it had a kill counter on it, it would probably read 0 because I don't use it. I feel like it goes best with Eugen, but it's probably a good weapon for, I wouldn't say, I guess I'm trying to say Serena, but Serena's got the Ancient Knight, so hopefully Divine Punishment gets some love later. The only weapon that didn't get real good multi-hit damage is the Excava, and that's probably because the Excava is really good at doing what it does, and that's with the electric attack. It has good fire rate, it's good at knocking enemies energy resistance to electricity down. So I guess if you gave it multi-hit as well, it would be one of the most powerful weapons in the game. Also, they left Enduring Legacy kind of out of the picture with multi-hit damage. You get like a 10% increase multi-hit damage here. You got to invest a lot into it, but it's got its own thing going with the quenching and the firearm attack. It's a big beat stick, but not really meant for multi-hits. Some of the other weapons that got a decent multi-hit raise is going to be some of the scout rifles. They're sitting at about 34%. This one over here is sitting at a 10%, so not that one. But I want to say the Wave of Light got a decent multi-hit damage, right? Most of the scout rifles really focus on weak point damage. More of the precision weapons precision weapons hit with more weak point damage. But all in all, we're looking at assault rifles with multi-hit damage. I feel like they're going to add more modules in the game that is going to be more specific towards a specific type of weapon. So assault rifles are going to be multi-hit, and then we're going to have LMGs, which is going to be in the firearm attack. You saw them add in explosive damage, and we got more weak point things that's going with the shotguns and the sniper rifle. So they need a little bit more in the game to bring up handguns and hand cannons, because handguns feel more like really fast pistols, and hand cannons don't feel really good until you get their fire rate up and start shooting them like handguns. So there needs to be some type of mod that differentiates the two to make them unique, right? So hopefully that answered your question about what multi-hit is. The bullet hits twice in most cases. Well, in the Fallen Hopes case specifically, let's speak specifically to that, you're doing 100% increased damage because we know that multi-hit makes the bullet hit twice. You can go over here to arcade tuning. More multi-hit stuff is going to be located in this general area, along with some firearm attack. And then overall, you're going to want to get the multi-hit chance, multi-hit damage multiplier. Once you actually have the multi-hit chance up to the 40%, and then you have the multi-hit chance up by 10%, you get the 50% multi-hit chance, and you're going to land it more often than you think you're going to land it. So getting more is just better, but having the base 50% isn't bad. Now, if we talk about the multi-hit mods here, a lot of these multi-hit mods are a bit weird in their own right. You have some that kind of are, they seem like they're spanning to do more with multi-hit. This one seems interesting to me because after we've looked through the what became good, what multi-hit actually went with, that when granting a buff or using a recovery skill on allies, multi-hit damage for blah 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 seconds ends up going up. This is going to go well with Divine Punishment. This is going to go well with Serena. This is going to go well with Eugen. This is going to go well with Enzo. So most of those characters can be used like using assault rifles. You know what I mean? I know Enzo's are using Enduring Legacy nowadays, but Serena's are using mostly the Ancient Knight or the Last Dagger. But you're buffing allies, you're I don't know if you're necessarily recovering them, but you're gonna get that multi-hit damage increase from using Ancient Knight, using Serena. Now they covered it again with inflicting a debuff. Multi-hit chance goes up, but it's not multi-hit damage. So the multi-hit chance we've already kind of got covered. So I feel like this needs to be elevated just a little bit. for that multi-hit chance, for me to give up the fact that I'm going to be taking off multi-hit damage or taking off anything else that I have in my kit to end up getting the battle proficiency on there. Or all in all, just add another column to the weapons, because we have more mods and there's not enough modular slots in order to get a bunch of different build varieties. I feel like a lot of things are staples to the build that you can't really take off. If they were to embed action, reaction, and rifle enforcement inside of all weapons and gave us those 2 slots back, that would be fantastic. Now, the multi-hit processor and the multi-hit sights, those 2 things, using dimension skills, using a tech skill to do this, like, it has a 50% chance to do this, it has a 50% chance to do that. Honestly, I haven't leveled them up. I doubt that they get to 100%, but if it does get to 100%, woohoo. Right now I'm looking at it as its base. I don't even want to invest in it, but getting a chance to have something activate when I'm giving up a critical slot, that is a critical chance type of area with that type of animantite node on it. It's just, I'm not giving a better concentration in order to put this on for this chance. You know, it's not feeling right in the same category. And then when we get multi-hit sights here, I mean, what I'm going to take off my toxic enhancement and my poison priority. Currently the tormentor is weak against that right there. Now I have a 50% chance for this and that. I don't know why they're bouncing around the idea of giving me a coin flip on activating a certain thing, but that really needs to be 100%. Again, if it does go up to 100%, I will pin it in the comment section below and like correct myself, but I don't think that it does go up to 100%. I've used the multi-bullet ultimate mod here and inflicting the deep wounds. That thing is absolute garbage. It doesn't do anything for the weapon. It does mediocre damage at best. If I'm doing 1 mil, 735,000 damage, that thing's doing like 6,000 damage over 3 seconds. It's doing 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. I don't know. That's definitely not bang for your buck right there. It's not good. And then the multi-hit induction on hitting weak points, multi-hit chance goes up. That multi-hit chance right there needs to change to multi-hit damage and chance or something like that. It should be more of a like hyper focus or a shot focus type of deal. The multi-hit chance should go up by like 3% per 4 or 5 seconds, up to 10 stacks, and then -2 stacks for the fill. You know, it can keep the stuff, but that multi-hit chance, it needs to be, the base of it needs to be raised for the end outcome of it to actually be worth it. Because instead of doing all this on weak point hits, get a multi-hit chance for blah blah blah, then you lose stacks when you don't hit a weak point, you could just put on weak point sight and then put on the multi-hit piercing trigger, and then you get guaranteed stuff. So you take up 2 slots for the bigger benefit, because you're not always hitting weak points, but you always want that option there. But you don't want to leave it to chance just in case the enemy moves and what have you. Now this multi-damage firearm crit hit damage -30%, I see where they're going with this. It's really good for guns that don't really focus on crit for their damage. And some guns of that nature are gonna be, let's see, I want to say more like shotguns, or you got maybe some of the scout rifles, but particularly you're not really looking to take away your crit chance. That's not really what you're looking to take away. Not your crit chance, but your crit damage. Taking away crit chance is one thing, but taking away crit damage is a whole nother beast, because it feels like it really affects the gun. It's really negative when you get this firearm crit rate damage all the way up there. Let me see if I have this one right here. Go over here to multi, and it goes all the way up to 90%. Like, you might as well just make it 100% at this rate. If you're gonna leave me with a sliver of hope, there's really no way to come back from that, taking that critical hit damage away. It don't feel real good. But Anyway, I digress. This video has become long enough. Let's get back to talking about multi-hit. It isn't a bad get if you just stayed at the multi-hit chance of 50%, but you're gonna want more multi-hit damage because you've already taken away from that crit aspect of the critical hit rate. So you're dealing with sacrificing critical hit damage to get more bang for your buck when your bullet hits that single time. So if you guys did enjoy the video, go check out how to get energy activators faster, how to get the crystallization catalyst faster, and actually farm in the First Descendant with some purpose so that you do less activities and get more things for the more you play. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.